Down like this. Oh, I'm in a dress, which was a bad decision because I don't want to flash you guys. So, gonna have to watch that because that would not be good. I've got my water in this cute little lemon cup. It's so cute. I love it. I'm preaching now. Woo! It's getting hot in here. And I'm back with another video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Hallie and I am so excited that you landed on this video. Today I am going to be talking a little bit about prayer journaling and just how it's helped me throughout the past month or so. And I just think it is really fitting because I had a girl DM me today, totally random. An Instagram follower of mine actually told me I should do this, so here I am. She told me like 2 hours ago, she DM'd me, so now I'm filming it for you guys. But it is from a girl named Elizabeth and it says, I had an idea for one of your YouTube videos. Do you think you could make a video of you doing Bible readings and quiet time and journaling, just showing what you do and how you do it? That would be so cool. So if you think that's cool, here I am doing it for you. With that being said, my whole video today is about prayer journaling, how I do my Bible readings, and also just like how I spend time in the Word and spend time talking to God. And I just want this to be a video where we're hanging out and kind of just like I'm letting you into my personal space and my alone time and quiet time and where I just kind of go. It's something that I love to do. I started prayer journaling because I found myself struggling with talking to God. I knew how to pray and I would try to pray before bed, or if I was in the car and I just had this feeling, I would try to pray, but I always got interrupted by sleep. So I would literally fall asleep talking to God, or I just would get sidetracked and my mind would get sidetracked, or I'd get a text message and I would just, I would just not be focused on praying. And as I've been growing in my faith, I understand the importance of having that relationship with God. And so I decided to start a prayer journal. And so today I'm going to show you how I kind of do my whole routine. I usually sit outside. We have a table outside of the RV and I sit out there because just being outside just makes me feel so much closer to God, and I just get this feeling of like holiness as I'm surrounded by his beautiful creations. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I love to hear like the birds in the morning, and I love to watch Maverick, our dog, outside just playing around while I'm just kind of in my thoughts and in my quiet space. So I wake up in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and I head outside and I just kind of lay out all my things. I take my phone with me because I play worship music, and I take my prayer journal, which is just a little notebook from Target. I'll try to link it for you guys. It has butterflies all over it. I just thought it was super cute. And a pen, of course. I'll show you guys. It's just a lined notebook, nothing crazy. It's not specific to prayer journaling. So I have my pen and my notebook, and then I also take my Bible with me when I do this because I do my Bible readings, and I also pull from a verse for my prayer journals, which I'll get to. And then I take my coffee, which, because it's 6:30 p.m., I have water in a little lemon cup. Super cute. The very first thing that I do when I sit down at the table is I grab my phone and I go to my Apple Music and I go down to genres and I select Christian and gospel, and then I just play on a very low level. Like I just want to be able to barely hear it. Like I want it to just be the background music as I'm reading my Bible. I don't want it to be my main focus, if that makes any sense. And I go to today's Christian, which will just give you all the top songs. It's just the top charts for Christian music. I'll just go through and shuffle through them. After I have my music on and I got a good vibe going and I've had my first sip of coffee, because that's super important, I grab my Bible, and I have been wanting to read the Bible front to back. So I am doing that, but you can totally follow a Bible reading plan specific to you. Maybe you want one based off of marriage or relationships, or maybe you're single. They have several different reading plans online. Since I am trying to read it front to back, I just go book by book, chapter by chapter. So for instance, right now I'm in First Chronicles and I'm on chapter 14. So today I'll be reading chapter 14 and 15. When I'm doing my readings, I always make sure I have my pen with me, and I will just show you guys a couple of examples. So for instance, I read First Chronicles chapter 12 yesterday, and if there's anything that sticks out to me directly, I go ahead and I underline it. I will show you guys what I mean. I don't know if you'll be able to see it there, but you can kind of see I underlined, and then I wrote next to it, who are we to judge others? So there was something in there that really stood out to me, and I wrote next to it how I could apply it to my life, or the way that I just interpreted it and how I could understand it better. I read the chapters through, and then I go back to the Bible study at the bottom after I have finished the chapters. So at the bottom of my Bible, it breaks down verse by verse and different meanings. So instead of just going verse by verse after every verse going down to the Bible study, I read each chapter through, and then I refer back to the Bible study to just clarify some things that I've read and get a better understanding. Yeah, that's how I do my Bible readings, and that's really it. After I've read my 2 chapters in the Bible, I grab my prayer journal, and this is where it gets really fun. I absolutely love prayer journaling. It has changed everything for me, and it just puts me in the best mindset for the day, and I don't feel so uptight and stressed out. I feel like I'm just letting God take control of my life, which is the main reason I started doing this, because I knew I wasn't talking enough to God, and now I have a whole journal full of notes to God. I speak specifically to Him when I journal. So the first thing that I do is I go through all of my specific prayer requests, and I just see if they have been answered, which sounds crazy. I know. When I first started doing this, I'm like, why? I feel so selfish. Like, oh, He's answered this, He hasn't answered this for me. But in the Bible, it tells you to talk to God and tell Him your desires and your wants and your needs. Pray for other people, pray for yourself, pray for what you want in life, and talk to God. Cast your fears upon Him. And so this has really helped me in that sense, and I've kind of gotten out of that like selfish phase, because I'm not writing about money, or I'm not writing about success. I'm writing about what is in my heart and what my heart wants. I know that there are some things that I desire in life that may not be in God's plan for me. Just because it's not answered doesn't mean God is pushing you away or saying that you're not good enough or you don't deserve this. God is involved in the smallest things in your life, and if you take the time to write down what is on your heart and then seeing how God handles them, it is so rewarding. That's just what I do. You don't have to do that. You can do specific prayer requests and never go back and see if they're answered. But I'm telling you, the whole point about having a prayer journal is seeing how God works in your life. So just because something's small and you don't think it's this big deal, or maybe it's not something that's going to affect your life in some crazy way, it doesn't mean God didn't have a hand in it. The next thing that I do after I go through my previous entries and mark the ones that aren't answered, or just kind of update ones that I do hold really close to my heart, I then find a Bible verse. A lot of times I literally pull out my phone, and for instance, let's just say I'm feeling really anxious one day. I go to Pinterest or just Google, and I will just type in Bible verses about anxiety. And so it pulls up one. This one says, let's see, Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I actually used that one. Let me see what day I used that. I used it on July 5th. I'll actually use that now to kind of explain what I do next. So I have found this verse that applies to how I'm feeling that day. Some days I wake up feeling so good, and I just talk about gratitude and being so grateful for seeing another day and things like that. But some days I wake up and I am fearful. I'm anxious. I am starting a new venture and I'm nervous about it. At the top of my page, I write the date and then I write the Bible verse out. So I have Isaiah 41:10. So I have the Bible verse at the top, I wrote the date, and then I write the Bible verse out. I then draw a line and I separate it and I start my prayer for the day. I try to keep my prayers pretty short. In general, they're like 4 sentences maybe. I will give you guys an example because I want this to be helpful for you. And I try to apply the verse that I chose that day into my prayer somehow and relate it back to how can I use that verse or apply that verse to my life in this prayer. So for instance, this is the prayer that I wrote when I was feeling really anxious. I wrote, God, you are so amazing. I feel you working in my heart more than ever before. I pray that all of my fears will be overcome because you are my God. Just like Israel in the verse above when you told them to not fear because you would be with them and help them. I pray that you continue using Pastor Mike Todd, who is the pastor of Transformation Church. It is a church that I watch online. I included him in this prayer, but I usually wouldn't be very specific in this prayer under the verse. But I said, I pray that you continue using Pastor Mike Todd to touch the younger generations, bless his sermons, his family, and his church that he's leading all over the world. I pray that you would continue moving in our household. I am so thankful for your grace and that who I thought I was isn't who I am. Amen. So that's just a little example of a prayer. It's super short, super sweet. After I write down that prayer, kind of based off the verse above, I then flip to the back and that's where I do prayer request and gratitude. So I split the page. I'll show you on this one because I'm going to do this right after this video. I haven't done it today, so I need to do it. So I split the page like this. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this isn't the neatest, but I have prayer request and then I have gratitude. So I split it down the page like that. And so I usually try to do 3 specific prayer requests. So for instance, I prayed for Taylor and for him to pass the COVID test. Then another specific prayer request was for my brother and that he found a job. You really can write down whatever kind of prayer request you want to write down, whether someone's sick or someone's experiencing a death in the family. You can ask people on your social media, how can I be praying for you today? And get specific examples from people that you know, people you don't know, and you can incorporate them in your prayer journal as well. I then go over to the gratitude column and I do 3 things I'm grateful for. This can be so simple. You can make it complex. Whatever you're feeling grateful for that day, talk about it and just write it down. It helps me so much. For instance, yesterday I remember sitting outside in the morning and it was just such a nice day. Wasn't too hot. It was beautiful and peaceful. And so I wrote down, I am grateful for a nice breeze this morning, which sounds
like, what? Out of everything, why would you say that?
But I was sitting there and I truly was grateful. I'm grateful to be alive today, to experience this breeze that God provided. So I wrote that down. Another thing that I wrote down is, I am grateful for a car to drive. Even if it's not luxurious in any way, it gets me where I need to go, and that's all that matters. So there was an announcement that a 2021 vehicle was just announced. You can reserve them, and it is like, I'm obsessed with it. Like, I need this car, right? So before I journaled that day, I obviously was thinking about it nonstop. Like, okay, I need this vehicle. I need it. I want to sell my car. What do I need to do to get this car? Like, freaking out. Journaling like this brings me back to the little things. So I have a car that runs, that I don't have to pay a ton of money for gas. It's a great car. It's got great mileage on it. And so it just reminds me that, be grateful. So when I got in my car yesterday after journaling, I just have a different mindset. I'm not going into it like I was the day before, where I'm just like dreading it because I just saw this new vehicle was released and I want it. So I get into my car just bummed out because it's a 2014 Chevy Cruze and it's not it's not my dream car, when in reality it runs fine. It's a great car, and I should be grateful for the little things. I just go back through and I just read over everything, and when I get to like the prayer parts, I really am speaking to God. So when I go through, I'm feeling it in my heart and I'm just having that moment with him. I love prayer journaling because it's allowing me to write down my thoughts and speak to him in a way that when I'm falling asleep at 11 p.m., I'm so tired and my mind's just drifting off to different places and I just can't get my thoughts together. This allows me to be so specific. If you are thinking about starting a prayer journal, or maybe you haven't been, but this video makes you want to start one, I highly recommend it. Just grab a notebook. Like I said, I got mine from Target and it's not a specific prayer journal. But if you are into like being super bougie and things like that, you can go on Etsy. They have really cute ones and you can order one. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. That's pretty much what I do when I read my Bible, prayer journal. It's just like a little part of my morning routine that really gets me started off on the right foot, a good mindset, a positive attitude, you know, the important things. And so I hope this was helpful if you are looking for ideas when it comes to journaling, and maybe you haven't even considered journaling before, but this video kind of opened up the idea to you. And if you have questions, of course, ask them in the comments. I would love to answer them for you. And as always, if you love this video and you want to see more content like this from me, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos I have planned for the future. So excited. I have a lot that I just like am so ready to film, but I don't want you guys to get tired of me if I'm putting out like 5 videos a week. So I'm trying to chill. Hi. Oh, hi. You're so handsome. Can you say, look, who is that in the camera? You wanna say hi? Hi. Hi, you two. Okay, can you close this out for me? Can you say thank you so much for watching? Speak. Good boy. And on that note, I'm ending the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate the support so much. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.